welcome to the next episode of Bisportuals, your new favorite sports podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
I'm Kendrick Perkins.
No, wait, hold on. No.
That's a lie. It was not even 10 seconds in the episode and you've already stated a falsehood here. How is our reputation going to grow when you can't help but lie on the channel? This is no longer an episode of Bisportuals. This is an intervention for Cameron on telling falsehoods, fibbing, deceiving.
Just straight outright lying. It's
chicanery.
It's unfathomable.
Unacceptable.
It's unfathomable how much pain you could cause you and your friends.
I thought of that right before you started recording, and I thought it would be funny.
That's the problem. You thought.
You're right. I should not have assumed. All I did was make an ass out of you and me. I am so sorry for anyone who was uncomfortable with that disgusting idea of a joke.
Mm-hmm. Because you know why it's not funny? Because you're not Kendrick Perkins.
Even though it's not true. Legally changed between episodes to Kendrick Perkins.
No, you didn't.
I led you to believe that I was former NBA player and current TV personality Kendrick Perkins,
also known as Big Purr.
I'm Kyle.
No other former basketball player.
To those I have let down. And to Kyle for interrupting him.
Would you like to finish the introductions?
Are
you going to introduce yourself?
I'm Cameron.
And I'm Kyle.
I thought Kyle was going to go.
Thank you. See, already off to a rough start here on Bisportuals, but we're going to power through because today is an important day. It is officially the NBA playoffs, baby. They're here. We've been waiting. We've been wanting and hoping. It is time. Basketball matters again. God bless this country. God bless the NBA. In fact, it's so important. It's so monumental. We're dedicating all of today's episode to the NBA playoffs, specifically the play-in and the first round, our predictions on how we think things are going to go. This is going to be a meaty episode, a schmeaty episode. Be a lot of schmeat here.
Before
there always is.
All that NBA goodness,
of course.
Have one NFL fact that I would like to share with the audience. I think they would be pleased to hear that Tyreek Hill is now a record holder. He has more domestic disturbance calls than Tom Brady has Super Bowl rings.
Congratulations, Tyreek. I know this is the career goal that you've been working towards, not like proving Kansas City wrong in the trade or anything like that. It's been beating Brady's number. Different category, but same number.
He's done it twice. He has more kids than than Brady has Super Bowl rings as well. So he's on his way to three-peat.
Definitely not the three-peat he had envisioned.
Wait a minute. How many domestic disturbances does Tyreek Hill have?
He has 8.
It's now 8.
Okay. Maybe he's so fast he thinks he can run from his problems. That man needs therapy.
Run fast, come fast.
And in women that aren't his wife.
True.
Elite
congratulations to Drew Lock on going back to the Seattle Seahawks. You're going to be a very serviceable backup to the Geck Bus.
I gotta say, there are few college clips that are in reality mundane that get me going. Like that one clip of Drew Lock throwing an absolute dart at Mizzou and then doing the celly. That was so clean, and it was a dart. He threw it on the money. He just could never do that in the NFL.
You know what they say about his genitals?
That he has a horse cock because it rhymes with his last name. See, now that's funny. That's funny. It's so funny.
It works.
I guess I'll take
it. Flows.
Take notes from Horsecock Drew Lock.
Oh, I was actually going to take notes on all my predictions today.
All right.
So I can bring up receipts from the future episodes.
True. Got to hold ourselves accountable. Mm-hmm. What we say matters here on this podcast, and we have to be held accountable. But what's more important than what we say is often what we know, because that influences what we say. And as we go into this week, at the time of recording, the NBA play-in tournament has yet to occur. By the time this comes out, it will have just finished the play-in tournament. And so to celebrate this amuse-bouche of NBA playoff basketball, if you will, we are going to go ahead and test my co-host's knowledge on the NBA play-in and the history of this hallowed and long-standing institution of the NBA playoffs. Both of those statements are definitely true. So
don't fact check. Do not at community notes on Twitter.
There's look no it need. Up. Never. Everything you hear off of this podcast is 100% true and accurate, and there's no reason to check any sources ever. Why would you need to? It tells you don't trust us?
Look, you're already spending an hour and a half of your time listening to us. Why would you have to spend even more time finding out more from other people? That's ass backwards.
And if you're looking at us, we're also beautiful and kind and trustworthy people. Especially me, I'm very trustworthy.
Yeah. Okay, I don't like how you said that.
more, you're wasting more of your time checking sources. What? No,
you just be listening
to just like watch porn.
Just pick one of us and parrot our talking points and pretend that you came up with them yourselves. That's what I do. That's what everybody does.
That's life.
That's life. That's what all the people say. But let's go ahead, head into NBA play-in trivia. Are we ready, you guys?
Yes.
Let's get it. I'm going to win.
There's one.
I'm writing that down on my prediction notes.
I forgot. There's really actually one last thing we have to do beforehand. Just so I can know when you buzz in and everything, I am going to need to hear your buzzer sounds. Kyle, would you like to give me your buzzer sound, please? Beep. Okay. Cameron, would you like to share your buzzer sound?
I don't know what my buzzer sound is going to be. I'm still Christian Ponder.
Fucking kill
yourself. Dude, that joke
only
gets funnier. That joke only gets funnier.
I know.
It only gets funnier.
I know, just like 9/11.
God, we're not even 10 minutes in. We're not even 10 minutes in.
Very, very Norm Macdonald-esque. Except, do you even remember Norm Macdonald?
I don't know.
I remember him.
Gave you my buzzer noise.
God, he was so fucking funny. All right, great. So we have our buzzers established. Let's go ahead. Let's hop in. Your first question of NBA play-in trivia. Let's see if Kyle can go back-to-back on trivia episodes. What play-in team has had the most success in the history of the NBA playoffs? Beep. Cameron?
Are we talking who's made it into the playoffs more or who's had the deepest run?
You shouldn't have to ask the question. I know the answer.
Miami Heat. Yeah.
Damn it.
It is the 22-23 Miami Heat when they, of course, made the NBA Finals.
I just want to show that I knew the answer before. He shouldn't have been able to buzz in since he didn't know the context.
I knew the answer to both of them.
Boo.
Second question. Who has scored the most points in a single play-in game? Kyle.
Jonas. Wait, no, it's not you. Fuck. What's his face? Bam Adebayo.
It is not Bam Adebayo. Cameron?
I believe it's the anomaly. The best player on a championship team, Jason Tatum.
He's never been in a play-in.
It is Jason Tatum.
Wait, what?
It is Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum scored 50 versus Washington in 2021.
Damn.
All right, 2-0 for Cameron. It's not looking great. Looking great for
lost
Kyle.
to the Brooklyn Nets in the first round of the playoffs, I believe.
Oh, that was
so.
Yeah.
Because
that was KD.
Brooklyn was the 2 and they came out as the 7.
Yeah, and then they played the Bucks second round, made it to Game 7. KD's foot was too big.
Yep, that was that year.
All right, question number 3. When did the play-in tournament truly begin to get traction in NBA circles? Kyle?
2017?
Not the answer we're looking for. Nope. Cameron?
March 2020?
Yes. Specifically, the idea began to gain traction within NBA circles in the 2020 season during the COVID bubble. But that was not technically the first instance of the play-in tournament. That did not qualify. All right. Here we go. So it's 3 to Cameron. In 2020, what network aired the only play-in game of 2020? Kyle.
I'm just gonna guess TNT.
Nope, not TNT. Cameron?
ABC.
Yeah, it was ABC.
Yeah.
Damn.
ESPN was too obvious.
All right, moving on. What team has appeared in the most play-in games?
Beep.
Kyle?
I think it's the Chicago Bulls.
It is not the Chicago Bulls.
I know which team has won the most, but they won every time in the 7-8 game. So I'm going to guess the Miami Heat.
Nope.
Is it the Atlanta Hawks?
Nope.
Lakers?
Nope.
Warriors?
Nope.
No. Fuck, it's New Orleans.
It is the Pels, the New Orleans Pelicans. They have played in a total of 5 play-in games.
Yeah.
5-0.
That I should have gotten that sooner.
All right, here we go. Back to the networks. What network holds the streaming rights for the play-in tournament beginning in 2026 and continuing until 2036? Sole airing rights. Kyle, yes.
I feel like ESPN is also too obvious here. I'm going to say NBA TV.
It is not NBA TV. Cameron?
Is it Amazon Prime?
It is Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah, that makes too much sense. I forgot.
Yes.
I didn't know if that started next season.
It's just valuable enough that they would carve out an exclusion for it, but it's not valuable enough that like ESPN wants it. They said, "No, give it to Amazon. Give it to Amazon Prime." All right, here we go. Now, this is where we begin. These next 2 questions are both lists. So there are subsets of teams. We're going to go back and forth, and whoever can name the most teams, one at a time, will get the point for that question. But to decide who goes first for this first question, we're going to do some rock, paper, scissors. All right? Ready?
2 out of 3 on shoot.
2 out of 3 on shoot. I'll count down, so it's equal.
Okay.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
I can't see what you're doing.
All right, scissors from Kyle.
Paper.
That's
Kyle
paper
wins.
from Cameron. That's one to Kyle. Here we go. Round 2. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock. Cameron, I can't see what you're...
I'm rock.
Okay,
I
Ty.
think we got to call it out.
Or can you just move it in front of your face?
Oh, sorry.
There you go. There we go. All right. Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Double rock again. Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
You didn't think I would go triple rock.
Over scissors.
You didn't think I would do it.
The triple rock trick.
All right, go.
You never see it coming.
Buddy.
All right. So, Kyle, you get to name the first possible team. What teams have never played in a play-in game, including this year, like this upcoming play-in?
Denver?
Denver is one team. So, Cameron, it goes to you.
Utah?
That is another team. Kyle, it's back to you.
Ooh, the Knicks?
The Knicks have not played in a play-in game.
That's my next guess. The Pistons haven't.
The Pistons have not played in a play-in game.
God damn it. God, who else has just been like a staple of either in or out of the playoffs?
5, 4, 3,
Houston.
2, 1. Houston is correct.
You keep taking my next guesses.
There are only 2 teams left.
I don't think the Bucks have.
The Bucks have not.
Dude,
there is one team left. Whoever can name this last team.
Are we taking turns or just shouting it out?
No, it's taking turns. It's Kyle.
Okay.
Did I already say the Blazers?
You have not.
I don't want to say the Blazers, but I want to say the Blazers, but I don't want to say the Blazers.
You got to say something.
I'm going to say the Blazers because I can't think of anybody else. Wait, no. OKC.
What do you mean we beat them?
Both of those are incorrect.
Wait, we beat them in the play-in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
Like 2 years ago.
I know we beat the Clippers.
After we lost to the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
We beat the Clippers the first year, and then the second year we lost to the Lakers and then beat the Thunder.
Oh.
All right. Cameron, it goes to you.
This last team is the Toronto Raptors.
No, it's back to Kyle.
Can we share a hint here? I'm cool giving up this information even if I get it wrong. Can I get what conference?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, fuck you. Think of teams.
I've got another guess.
10 seconds.
Yeah, the Mavericks.
It is not the Mavericks.
Oh shit!
Is it the Pacers?
It is not the Pacers.
Fuck.
All right, I am gonna give a hint.
Yeah, I do.
It is a Western Conference team.
Man, I'm struggling. Because I feel like have we not said the Spurs?
We have not said the Spurs, and that is incorrect. Cameron?
Is it the Suns?
It is the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns have never been in a play-in game.
Damn.
So that point goes to Cameron.
That's a toughie.
He got 4 of the 7. We're going to go right back to a list.
But I get to go first this time.
We'll start with Cameron this time. So Cameron, of the teams that have previously appeared in a play-in game, what teams have never won a single game?
Charlotte Hornets.
The Charlotte Hornets is correct.
The Spurs.
The San Antonio Spurs is correct.
Chicago? No.
Chicago is incorrect.
Yeah, no, they made the playoffs 1 year. Shit.
I miscounted. There are 6 teams here.
Oh, okay. So we can tie on this one. Not that it matters for the overall results of the quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. Orlando?
Orlando is incorrect.
Sacramento?
Sacramento is incorrect.
Washington.
Washington is incorrect.
They're
Oh, what?
the 8 seed 1 year. Clippers?
The LA Clippers is correct.
Dang.
Oh, I got another one.
I'm just having a hard time remembering all the teams that we're saying because we're listing everything. Did we say the Blazers?
Did not say the Blazers is not correct.
Yeah.
Thunder?
That is incorrect.
Did they win a play-in game?
They
had
won,
to win a play game. The one that we talked about.
They won the 9-10 game in 23. They beat New Orleans.
Yeah, and then we beat them.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Speaking of New Orleans.
They have.
New Orleans is incorrect.
Damn.
Show me the Toronto Raptors.
I would love to show you the Toronto Raptors.
Okay, I'll throw in the towel here. I'm not going to get the rest of them.
All right.
There's
one in each conference.
Cleveland?
Cleveland Cavaliers is correct.
And
the final one you wouldn't think.
Did we say the Nuggets?
The Nuggets have never played now.
Oh,
it is right. Golden State. Golden
State
State lost to Sacramento in 24.
And they lost to the Lakers in, I think, 22?
Yes, they lost 2 in a row in 22. Or 21. 21.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah. All right. And the final question. Who is the official sponsor of the play-in tournament?
Beep.
Kyle.
I think isn't it Kia?
It is not Kia. That is the in-season tournament, I'm pretty sure. Cameron?
SoFi?
It is SoFi. I believe Kia has the in-season tournament, not the play.
They have the regular playoffs. It's the Emirates.
Oh, you're totally correct. You're totally right.
It's the Kia NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Kyle,
no, it's the Kia MVP.
I believe that this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Kyle is a broken man.
It's Emirates play-in, SoFi, or Emirates in season, SoFi play-in. I think YouTube TV playoffs, or like Google.
Look, I just know that.
I think last year was like the Google Pixel playoffs, and then it was like the YouTube finals.
I don't remember.
Kyle's broken.
Yeah, Kyle is a broken man.
Is it too late?
He will never recover.
Quit this podcast.
So my shirt says Minnesota play-in champions back to back, and I think we can add Cameron Gertensen onto that list since I am the play-in trivia champion.
Yeah, but you didn't go back to back on trivia.
Well, I'm going to next time we do trivia.
Okay. We'll hold you to that. Life. But let's stop talking about what we know. And
can I get a final score?
Oh, I believe the final score was 9 points to Cameron, and 0 points to Kyle.
See Kyle type in the studio chat on our podcast recording software. Kyle just typed, Cameron, I'm gonna shit your pants.
Kyle,
Stop threatening me.
The FBI is already. They only let you out to record this episode. They're taking you back, and this is not going to help your case.
Yeah.
I just want to move on.
Do you have a lawyer present or just big guys?
I think the big guys are his legal team. They're helping him win big cases and big settlements.
I'm going to do that one bit. I can't remember his name. It's incredibly illegal to say this. I want to kill the president.
Let's go ahead. Let's talk playoffs, shall we? Let's go ahead and start with the Western Conference. The West, unlike the East, which we'll get to later in the episode, the West was a mess all up until the final Sunday. We didn't know who was going where. But now, the dust has settled. The top 10 teams are locked in, and we know their matchups. Let's go ahead and start with the play-in. By the time this is out, the play-ins will already have been determined. They will have happened. The games will have been played. But as of recording, not a single play-in game has been played yet. So we are going to predict them as well as how we think their eventual winners will do in the first round of the playoff matchups. So they may not be entirely accurate, but I have a feeling the sentiment's going to be pretty similar, regardless of who ends up where. But still got to play the games. So the 7-8 game in the Western Conference, we have Memphis heading over to Golden State. Golden State is currently favored by 7 points. I'll start with Kyle. Kyle, who do you like here?
I'll tell you who I don't like, which is the Golden State Warriors. How the fuck do you lose to the Clippers like that? Why the fuck is Draymond Green getting the ball in overtime and not the greatest three-point shooter of all time, Stephen fucking Curry? I'm sorry. I do not trust Golden State at this very moment because Steve Kerr is a fucking idiot. Memphis by 4. Even though they don't have a head coach, Memphis by 4.
They do have a head coach. They're definitely keeping him through the offseason.
Yeah, I believe that. But it just because he's an interim head coach and he joined halfway through, or, like basically 90% way through the season, it's going to be an interesting game.
8 games under his belt.
Yeah.
8 or 9, yeah.
So, yeah, about 10% of the season that the head coach has been a part of the organization. But yeah, I'm mad at Golden State right now. And we literally just said it in the trivia section that Golden State hasn't won a play-in game. So I believe that curse is going to continue. Fuck the Warriors. I fucking hate them. I just needed them to win so that we wouldn't be playing the Lakers. And now we're playing the Lakers. So fuck Golden State.
Cameron?
Memphis was as high as the 2 seed, I believe, in February. I believe they peaked at the 3 seed in March. Could be totally wrong, but that's just what I remember. They finished as the 8 seed. They fired their head coach. They've got an interim who they want to keep through the offseason. They probably fired Taylor Jenkins so they could snipe this guy so no one else gets him in the offseason since they knew they wanted him. Don't remember his name, but apparently he was very successful overseas. However, this team, he doesn't have a lot of experience with them. I don't see them beating the Warriors, who have been, although slacking a little bit these past few games since the trade deadline, have been basically unstoppable.
Yeah, I get Kyle.
I don't think it's going to be particularly close, honestly.
Kyle, I get that you're mad. We'll talk about the Lakers. But Buddy Hield had a look. And if Buddy Hield isn't there to shoot shots, what is Buddy Hield there to do? It's not much else. I can't take Memphis over Golden State. I don't believe in Memphis. I just don't. Even though we did get lit the fuck up by Desmond Bane, but I just can't. I can't take Memphis here. Golden State's going to snap the streak. No, but he was one of their best players in that game. But Golden State's going to break the streak. They're winning the 7-8 game. I think we'll talk about it, but I like Golden State in this setup. All right, on to the 9-10. We have Dallas heading over to Sacramento. Sacramento is currently favored by 5 points. Cameron, I'll head to you. Do you think Sacramento is going to be lighting the beam in the 9-10 game?
I think it's going to be pretty close, but I am going to take the Mavericks here. I think AD has something to prove, that he's not a throwaway in a trade, that he can still lead a good team. I think he's going to put up a good, solid effort. The Mavs guard rotation is a little fucked right now with Kyrie being out, and the Kings do have Zach LaVine, who's a very solid guard, but I believe AD is enough to lock down the paint and can carry them offensively to swing this upset. I think it'll be close, but I'm taking Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Kyle?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I am taking Dallas here. My notes were a little more harsh. I said, quote, if AD doesn't win this game, I'm legit going to get a job as the COO of True TV, and I'm going to cancel his prank show. Dallas by a trillion.
I think AD is doing a good enough job of getting his own prank show canceled.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's watching that.
I had no idea it existed.
I saw like 2 ads for it.
Yeah. I just remembered it as I was like writing notes. But yeah, I just think that like, no offense to Domantas Sabonis, but I just feel like AD is just a better player than he is. So I feel like that's just going to be a really key matchup in this game. And obviously the guard play is going to be a key one, as long as Dallas's backcourt can at least just like hold on against like Zach LaVine. I feel like it's still going to be a close game. I think that Dallas can make it happen, whereas like Sacramento, I don't know. We talk about vibes a lot on this podcast. I feel like vibes are off in Sacramento right now.
Vibes are a little sour.
They're like, so Zach LaVine's kind of been locking in recently, and they've been winning some games, although it hasn't been enough to move them up in the standings. They couldn't really move up.
It's just not at the point that it's been at. Like throughout this year,
it was when this is the best it's been all year. The vibes have been terrible there this year.
Yeah, last year the vibes were way better, though.
And 2 years ago,
or 2 years
last
ago,
year they were a playing team as well.
I agree. I see Dallas winning this, only because when it comes to these like play-in game kind of things, you have to ask what team just has the best player.
And it's the Kings do have the best player in play-in history.
No, Jason Tatum scored 50.
Jonas Valanciunas is the leading scorer and rebounder, I believe.
But it's just Anthony Davis is still the best player in
this game,
that matchup, for sure. And so I don't see him, unless he literally goes limping in that he gets injured during the game. I don't see him limping out of the postseason in a 9-10 game, for sure. So that, if we take Cameron and I
majority
had Golden State winning the first game, so that makes Dallas heads to Memphis in the second game of the play-in in the West. Dallas at Memphis. I know who I'm taking there.
Predicting Dallas at Golden State.
Yeah, but if we're taking the majority here, the Bisportuals panel would say that it would be Dallas, Memphis.
I'm taking the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
I think I'm taking the Grizzlies.
I think it's a 1-point game. They got something to prove.
Really?
I think it's a 1-point game.
I think this is going to be the most lopsided game. The Grizzlies are going to wipe Dallas.
I don't know.
It's just
you're predicting the Warriors against Dallas, so
I'd still take the Warriors. Dallas. It's a little less debatable because Ja Morant is better than anybody in Sacramento, but AD is still the best player. But 2 through 6, I'm taking the Grizzlies.
Valid.
They're just they're a better team. They don't have the best player, but they're a better team.
I do think Kyrie is better than Ja Morant right now, but Kyrie's not healthy.
Kyrie's not playing. Yeah. So we'll say Grizzlies will move on. Then we're right back to the 7-8 again. I still think it's Golden State to determine the seeding there.
All right, yeah.
So we'll just
in my notes. I'm just putting Golden State as the 7 and
so it'll come
Grizzlies
out
as the 8. So how they're
chalk.
seated right now.
Yeah, chalk as if the play-in tournament didn't exist. So that moves on to the true first round of the playoffs.
Kyle, are you predicting the Warriors to come out of that game?
So yeah, I thought it would be the Warriors at 7, and then I think.
Do you have Dallas at 8?
I think I had Memphis? Dallas at 8. I'm probably gonna swing Memphis at 8 for this one.
You picked Memphis at 7 though.
Well, no. Memphis to get to the final game.
Yeah, I picked Memphis to be in the 8 seed game. No, I picked the. Oh no, I did pick Memphis over the Warriors. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so it's the other way around. Yeah. Sorry.
So you'd have
taking Golden State or Dallas in the 8 seed.
I would take
for
Dallas.
Your official predictions.
I would take Dallas.
Okay. And then Memphis, Dallas to decide seeding for your predictions. Memphis at the 7, Dallas at the 8.
Well, yeah.
So for official playoff predictions, I'm putting in what we're going with for the majority.
Great.
Yeah, it's fine.
Great. That gets us to the playoffs. Real deal time. It is at the 8. We had Memphis.
Yes, Memphis versus OKC.
OKC in 6.
Holy shit. OKC in fucking 5.
OKC in 4.
I'm gonna say it might be get the broom. This might be a little sweep. This might be a sweep.
They're just fucking unstoppable, and it sucks.
Memphis has been good. Like they're a really good 8 seed. Because
the Thunder are historic.
The Thunder are just that good. Yeah. And especially in the first round where they're going to be raring to go and like prove themselves on a playoff stage, because that's been their big knock, has been experience and age. And they want to show people, especially in this first round, and then it's like, fuck your experience. We're going to wipe the floor with Memphis. I could see them going in with some hunger in that first round, even though nobody thinks they're going to lose that series. So, but they're gonna roll. They're gonna fucking roll.
They want momentum going into games against these.
Yeah, this Western Conference for sure.
Where they'll be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'll get to that later.
So that brings us to the 2-7 game. We have the Golden State Warriors at Houston.
Ryan, I feel you're gonna agree with me. Warriors in 7.
What the fuck? No.
Yeah, give me the Warriors in 7.
No, Houston in 7. I'm sorry.
I love Alperen Şengün. I love Şengün. I think he's great. I think he doesn't get enough credit.
He was an all-star this year.
I think he's amazing. It's playoff Steph, playoff Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, technicals reset.
Look, that last player that you mentioned is going to be the reason why Golden State would lose this series. Is because Alperen Şengün is going to target him fucking 80 possessions of the game, of the 100 possessions. Like, look, he's going to put up fucking like 80 a night.
Şengün is a super physical player.
Take
that back.
Jokic.
Take that back.
And let's be clear. I'm not on the little like weird hype train that turned up around like, oh, Draymond Green defensive player of the year.
Oh, fuck no.
No. It's Evan Mobley.
Yeah. He's going to get exposed in this game or in the series.
Yes.
I am comfortable with either of that.
But
we'll get into our official NBA award predictions next week.
Yes. But he's not a bad defender. He's a good defender. He's just not the defensive player of the year. And I don't know how you can say Draymond is going to cost them in the playoffs when most of the time in the playoffs, Draymond does not cost them. It's not like we've never seen Draymond in the playoffs. We have plenty of footage of this team, a little different core, but still Steph and Draymond executing together in the playoffs. It's experience versus youth, and in the playoffs, the youth is going to bite you in the butt. It's just gonna.
This Rockets team, their whole young core have never been to the playoffs, and they're going against the playoff team of the past 10 years. So,
but Kyle, what's your reason for Houston?
Just you hate the Warriors?
Yeah, I don't see the Warriors matching up well to them, other than like Steph, because Steph matches up against everybody in the league.
Honestly,
I just feel
don't
like
think Steph is going to match up super well against them offensively, but like he's
right.
VanVleet's a good
He
perimeter defender.
yeah,
he
Amen
is,
Thompson. They
but
got Dylan Brooks. They got Tari Eason.
mhm,
Those are all people
He's
who
gonna
can
cook the
guard.
shit. If he gets a switch onto Dylan Brooks, he's putting his ass in the dirt. Let's
yes.
be clear.
I just think again,
But
Steph is
that's
a
just
playoff
because Dylan
riser. I
Brooks
will
is
give it to him.
overconfident and I don't like him.
Steph is a
You know
playoff
who's the
god.
biggest playoff riser in the 2020s? His teammate
Draymond
James Butler
Green.
the third.
Oh, true. Jimmy Butler. Yes.
Mhm. But
They
again,
don't call you playoff Jimmy for nothing.
Jimmy Buckets is a playoff nickname.
Your spite has been noted, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand there are a lot of players on that team that you dislike personally.
And Cameron, I feel like it's kind of the opposite, because since they got rid of the player that he has negative personal
I
experiences
fucking hate Klay Thompson.
That's
Nico Harrison should have gotten fired after signing him.
True. Would have been better for the franchise. Would have been. All right. So we'll go ahead and say Bisportuals majority. We're going to go with Memphis here, or with Golden State here.
Yeah, I mean, are we predicting the full playoffs? Or
no, we're gonna come back just the first round.
Okay,
just first round.
I'm just writing down what team we predict and in how many games.
So that moves us to the 3-6 game. Minnesota is heading to Los Angeles to take on the LA Lakers. Cameron, you seem very excited, so I'll start with you on this one. Who you got and how many?
The Lakers in 7, unfortunately. Yeah, I want the Wolves to win so bad. I think they're going to put up such a good fight, but I don't think it's going to happen. I will be cheering for them the entire way.
So my actual analysis for this is I feel that the national media isn't giving the Wolves enough like praise just because it's the fucking Lakers. And it's
for sure.
Again, it's this on LeBron for 18 hours a day. So it is what it is. I don't think you're giving us enough credit.
He deserves 12 hours of that, to be fair.
Right, true. Like they just need to tone it down a little bit. Like it's still okay to have it, but just moderation. But I think the main thing is like we just need to plan properly, attack Luka on offense, because we saw it in the finals last year that he was a fucking cone.
Yes.
So it's we literally have it on tape that he is a cone on defense. We have one of the best slashing shooting guards and shooting guards in the NBA. So it's like literally just match that up on defense as many times as we can, attack that point, and then like truly plan it, but execute it. Because like we can plan it and say, yep, on paper this is going to work, but then obviously you have a plan for when you get punched in the face until you get punched in the face. So like we just need to make sure
all year too that the coaches have had plans. Mm-hmm. It's just the execution has not been there. That's coming from the players, not from the coaches.
Rudy said it too. It's like we are our biggest enemy in terms of like mental. It's like we just always beat ourselves up. If all of that happens, I say Wolves in 6. But go ahead, Cam, because then I want to get to my not actual analysis and my very important take on this.
I think another thing they have to plan is just if Rudy Gobert is ever in ISO against Luka, how do you change that immediately? Because the Mavs did that so much last year. Luka just put Rudy on skates every time.
Well, I want to get into, because this is different. This is a different situation now. Because in reality, the Lakers have one true lob threat. And it's Jackson Hayes.
King James.
He can catch lobs, but he's not a dunker spot guy.
Yeah. He's a fast break lob.
This
mobile lob.
Yeah. So this the thing that the Wolves ran, or the Mavs ran last year that cut the Wolves to shreds, was the fucking pick and roll bullshit that we just were unable to deal with, because Rudy sat in drop coverage and he got cooked. And when he wasn't in drop coverage, they do the lobs over. And that's not going to be as much available to the Lakers. So I think it's going to be a very different series than what the Dallas series was. And for that reason, give me the Lakers in 7. They have the 2 best players in the series.
Okay, so here's the only reason that I'm saying the Wolves in 6.
Rudy, please drop 40 on fucking Jackson Hayes' head. Please, my life is yours, Rudy. I beg you, please, Rudy, if you hear this, please.
We will be rooting for the Wolves every step of the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, ride or die. If the Lakers win this series, I'm going to be rooting for them.
Here's my take, and I know we're not doing full. I could very much see the Lakers coming out of the West. Truly just
Cam said
winning
that last week.
Straight up.
I said that last. Yeah. That's my prediction as well. So
yeah. So this is just
Wolves in 6.
A tough pull for Minnesota in the first round.
Right.
If they win though, it
Wolves
sets them up. And finally, out of the West, we have the 4-5 game. This is the Clippers are heading into Denver. Denver in game 1 is currently only favored by 3 points. So Kyle, I'll start with you. How are you feeling about this series, and who do you have?
This fucking sucks. And it's the same for just any 4-5 series. It's close for a reason. These are 2 teams that are very comparable to each other. Jokic is the best player in the world, point blank period. I want him to be the MVP because he fucking deserves it. I don't think he's going to get it because it's SGA's fucking turn. But this is the playoff fall off series because Denver just fired their head coach, so they have no real structure or game plan going into the series, and the Clippers are just eternally cursed to fall in the playoffs. I think that this year may be a little bit different because Kawhi is back. James Harden is playing out of his mind, and they have a really solid team that is they are doing great right now. Right in this very moment. So I think that they can hold on to that kind of heat for the next 2 weeks to get them through the series. I think that they still drop some because Jokic will just put up 45, 20, and 20 and just win games on his own. But really, Jamal Murray has taken a step back this year. Aaron Gordon has taken, I think
he's
Aaron
just
Gordon's
coming off of injury too.
Yeah, true.
Aaron Gordon's doing pretty good. It's MPJ is the biggest starter taking a step back.
Mm-hmm. So it's the team around Jokic has taken a step back while he has taken a step up. So it's hard to just solo carry a team to a 7-game series victory. So I'm going to say Clippers at 6.
Cameron?
I was kind of leaning the Nuggets, but your argument kind of convinced me a little bit. I do think, Jokic is the best player in the world, but the Clippers have been playing. James Harden has been playing so good recently. You forget Kawhi's on that team too. They've got Norman Powell and Zubac, who I think both of them should be in most improved player conversations for this season.
Love me some Ivica Zubac.
I'm not huge on their bench rotation, but
in the playoffs, it's who's your best 8.
I am even less huge on the Nuggets bench rotation, and this new interim head coach has been playing Russell Westbrook less, and their young players more, Peyton Watson and Julian Strother, and
who the old GM literally during the trade deadline was yeah, we tried to make a move happen. We were gonna ship these guys, said straight up. We were trying to ship these guys.
Yeah, but they've been giving Russ less minutes, which I think is going to hurt them in the playoffs. I do see his minutes possibly coming back because he is an experienced playoff veteran.
Yeah. At the end of the day, those minutes should have been cut.
That connection this year.
I was just going to say those minutes should have been cut 3 weeks ago when they kind of noticed that Russ wasn't performing at his high level to try and get some genuine NBA minutes for those rookies rather than the scraps that they've been getting.
Russ hasn't been awful. I mean, he had a key mistake in that Minnesota game.
It's since the Minnesota game he's been pretty bad.
Yeah,
but before that he was not.
Yeah, before that he was hooping for a little bit. Give me the Clippers in 7. Kyle, how many games did you say? 6?
I said 6.
You can mark me down for 6 as well because
that's going to be a fun series. It's going to be close. It's going to be they're going to be good games.
Here's my issue is that I think the Clippers are the better team. I think they have the better roster 2 through 5, but Jokic is the best player on earth.
Yep.
My one hesitation with picking the Clippers is they're the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
They're just, I can't shake what the name the LA Clippers does to me in my soul of playoff performance. Like, I swear to God, I'm going to watch a game of these that the Clippers should win and that they drop, and I'm going to get fucking flashbacks to CP3 and Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, Lob City, and it's all going to come rushing back to me like Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's just, like, in reality, if this were entirely objective and basketball oriented, give me the Clippers in 6. I'm going to take the Clippers in 6, but I'm not going to be at all surprised when they choke and the Nuggets win.
Yeah, another element for me is if the Nuggets had kept Mike Malone around, if they hadn't fired him, I would have easily trusted him more as a coach than Ty Lue. I am not high on Ty Lue at all. However, since he is gone, Ty Lue,
not a big David
is an
Adelman
infinitely
guy.
No, I'm sorry. Ty Lue is
not
infinitely better.
but I just have to trust him more as a coach.
Yeah, because he's been in this position before.
I don't think he's been. Yeah. He hasn't necessarily been great with the Clippers, but he does have the greatest championship win of all time under his belt.
Well, that is our predictions for the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. We will come back to that when the first round is done, and we go ahead and start to predict the second round as well. We'll see how we did. We'll see how we did there. But before we get to the East, we gotta take a little break. You know, the playoffs, they feature. It's all about the stars. You know, this Laker Minnesota series. It's Luka and Ant. It's LeBron and Ant. And it's Ant. It's all about stars. It's like you don't see as much marketing for the 4-5 game in the East because it's Giannis, but then it's the Pacers, and the Pacers are more. They don't have they have Tyrese Halliburton, but they don't have like the superstar, the super marketable superstar. But sometimes you can't make a full roster of superstars. In fact, you got to have some guys on your roster whose key job is making sure that the bench is warm when the starters come sit on it during timeouts. And those guys, they're still great. Like the great Brian Scalabrine said, he is closer to LeBron than you are to him. But in NBA terms, those guys are just mid. They're mid. They're average. They're okay. We are going to do our best to build the perfect mid NBA player. This is what I like to call, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. This is Build a Cameron. Mid.
I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that. That's incredible. My confidence is back, baby.
I knew he was going to be way too up after all of his trivia wins, where he's only lost trivia twice. Yeah, I had to bring him down a peg. But as you can see, we are going to normal Snake Styles draft. Again, this was a random number generator to pick these. We have 5 categories that we are building our mid players based off of. We are going off of shooting, passing, finishing, body, which is their build, and then their reputation. This is on-court and off-court reputation of what is this guy? So, luckily, I have the first pick. I did not put an order for what I needed to prioritize. So I think I'm going to lock this guy down. I'm going to start with passing. I need a person who can pass the ball, but isn't he's not getting the flashy LaMelo passes. He's not hitting Luka cross courts or anything like that. I'm going to go with a good player, a good passer. Give me Terry Rozier.
He's not a good player anymore.
The Terry Rozier I remember was.
He's had his ups and downs, you could say.
but he is currently sitting right around league average for assists per game. Mm-hmm. So Kyle, that it goes ahead. It moves on to you.
Ryan is gonna absolutely despise me for this one. I'm going to a player that he loves, who he didn't play a lot this season, mainly due to injuries, which is something that we've talked about quite a lot.
It better be for this category.
No, it is not. You're going to go up 2 cells on your
What the fuck? He's a good shooter.
Hey, his true shooting percentage this year is 113th in the NBA. Because he is shooting 0.4%. So he's shooting 40%, which is technically. Wait, where did league average go? League average is 0.467.
Like 37.
No, I'm looking at basketball average pure field goal percentage. Field goal percentage. He is shooting well below average.
Well, say his name. Quit.
Yeah, LaMelo
teasing
Ball.
It for the audience.
LaMelo Ball. He's 113th in the NBA. There are 450 players in the NBA. So I was trying to get as close to that as I could. I saw his name and I thought it was funny.
That's not mid-range and 3 percentage exclusively.
Yeah, I know that. It's also
he's not a good finisher, I don't think.
Kyle,
but he's a good shooter.
I just want to say, I thought you were going to take it for body and say his body is broken, but I want to say thank you for selling. You've sold. Yeah, this completely. Is a sell. This is
based on this season alone, which is what we clarified. This season alone, he is a below average shooter.
Cameron, go ahead. Give me the double round. What are we going here?
If you want something average, I'm going to go with the average of all 5 positions. I'm going to go with a small forward. The average height and weight of a small forward is like 6'7", 220. I'm taking Toumani Camara, who's like 6'7", 230.
How do you spell his first name again?
Toumani.
That's what I thought it was. I should capitalize his name. Don't disrespect Toumani.
Yeah, he's definitely had a breakout season this year for the Portland Trailblazers. But just in terms of build, I couldn't find or think of anyone more average.
Yeah. Well, you got the double up here as well. So.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and also lock up shooting, but I'm gonna do it with a player who's actually an average shooter. Give me the worldwide MVP, Dennis Schroeder.
Oh, I had him on my list somewhere else. Okay. Solid.
Yeah, he's shooting 35% from 3, which is right about average. He's taking about 6 or 7 attempts a game, which is pretty average volume, I guess, for someone with his minutes. I thought he was a good fit there.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Kyle, it comes back to you.
I'm going to go to a really important category here, and I just want to lock this down. Reputation. And I'm going to lock down my second overall on my big board here. Kelly Olynyk.
I feel like he has he's kind of been on a redemption tour.
A little bit, but he
still doesn't totally. Boston still hates him.
Yeah.
Or no, yeah.
I still feel like he has a negative reputation.
I'm pretty sure he's just mid.
All right. Well, I have the turnaround here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my shooting. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Brandon Miller for shooting. So his numbers this year, from 3, he is shooting about 36%. 36% from 3. That's right around average. I believe it's a little below average, but I compensated it for the fact that he hucks them. He's taking a lot of 3s per game, which means that larger sample size, bigger number, more closer to the average. So I feel like he's more of a true average shooter. Plus his from 2, his 2-point percentage or 2-point field goal percentage, he's sitting around 47, 48.
That's pretty good.
Pretty solid. But I'm looking at, it's not like, oh, this guy is an elite shooter or something like that. It's like, it's a firm thumbs up. Good. And then I'm going to follow it up. Yeah, go ahead. Give me... I'm going to go ahead with my finishing here. Finishing, I'm going to look at a guy who I think his package, his layup package consists of like the layups you do in layup lines in high school and nothing better. Go ahead and give me Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is finishing.
I just don't think he's a good finisher.
I think he's
serviceable.
He can make a layup.
He can make a layup, but I
wouldn't.
If I'm the rim defender there, I'm not scared.
No, I wouldn't be particularly either. But then, Kyle, that comes back to you.
I'm going to move up to passing on this one, and I'm gonna take a Milwaukee Buck who Cameron quoted last week on what a rebound is, and I'm going to get Taurean Prince,
the great TP12.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I did have Taurean Prince still on my board
for reputation.
Probably for body.
Yeah.
Because he does have a negative reputation among Lakers fans because Darvin Ham played him way too much. And among Bucks fans this year, I don't think they like him.
Yeah,
so,
he's just sitting
around. He has a positive
around.
reputation among at least one Minnesota Timberwolves fan. Me. I like him.
Yeah, I loved him when he was here.
He was pretty good for us.
Yeah, serviceable that year. But he's sitting around like league average for total assists, which was the only stat I could pull on Basketball Reference for this. So, again, like especially when he was here, like I think he did like decent in the assists column. He was never leading our team in assists. So, again, pretty mid, pretty average.
Good guy, solid guy. Cameron.
Okay, so since I have the turnaround, I'm not going to take passing since you guys both already have your passers in. I'm going to start with finishing, and I'm going to do a player who has a pretty decent package around the rim, but if it was up to him, he would rather take threes, extra long threes, or be passing that ball, which he does about 95% of the time. If he does get to the rim, he can do a layup. He's got a pretty decent floater game. Trae Young.
Yeah, I thought about that maybe. Yeah. If anything, he definitely is not one to be...
Yeah, he does not finish at the rim frequently at all.
No. Yeah. Fair point. I think it's a smart pickup.
And then reputation, most average reputation you could possibly think of. Give me younger brother of 4th overall pick Keegan Murray. Give me Chris Murray of the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
It's Chris with a K. It's Chris with a K.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
KRIS, like the Jenner.
Okay.
I don't know. He's like, he's known as one of the Murray brothers. They're not particularly great. They're not particularly bad. They're not. Mm-hmm. They're both on teams that don't really stand out too much.
He's a guy.
And I'm taking Chris because he was. I feel like he's less memorable than Keegan.
All right, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my finishing pick for last because I don't think either of you are gonna take him. But for
Kamara wrong, it's with a C.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I only know one Kamara, and it's Alvin.
You mean the guy who scored 6 touchdowns in a game against the Minnesota Vikings once?
The very same.
Okay, so I'm saving my what was it? I'm saving my finishing pick.
Your finishing.
I'm saving my finishing pick for last, and I'm gonna go to body. Man, I got 2 good names here. But I know Cam took like a kind of league average here, and I think a player around that same like 6'7", 220. I don't actually know this, but I'm just kind of guessing. Benedict Mathurin, I feel like is kind of in that ballpark. And I feel like he's just kind of got like an average build.
How do you spell Mathurin again?
Mathurin.
All right, that's what I put an extra U in there.
So yeah, just kind of.
Okay.
You know, you don't really think about it much, but when you see his name on a list, you're like, yeah, like it's all right. Like just that kind of approach to it.
Yeah. Pretty average shooting guard build.
All right,
Ryan.
I'm going to go ahead. Build-wise, this guy kind of sits. He's a little on the smaller end of a small forward. I think positionally he moves between small forward and shooting guard, really. But for my body, go ahead and give me Apple Valley's own Gary Trent Jr.
Oh, you mean the guy who was caught masturbating in his car?
No, I don't mean that guy. Because that guy killed himself, I'm pretty sure.
No, that guy is Gary Trent Jr.
No, it's not.
Gary Trent Jr. was, yeah, he was.
Not like the recent one.
Are you talking about a different guy?
The recent one was Gary Trent Jr., right?
No, that was just a totally different guy.
That guy killed himself.
Yeah, it's called the Goonicide. Because he was gooning in his car. No,
he ended his own life.
Cameron, just Google
Goonicide.
Goonicide.
He just look like Gary Trent Jr.?
Yes, he looked like Gary Trent Jr.
Okay, we can cut that whole thing.
He killed himself.
Fuck you, NBA Circle Jerk.
No, that's on you. That is 100% on you.
Post.
You got unironically shirt.
You got circle jerked. You got Centel. You got Barry McCockernerd.
Dude, that is straight up on you. Like,
okay. I thought it was Gary Trent Jr. He looks a lot like Gary Trent Jr.
You would have seen so much more.
That he does.
There have been so many more posts.
He did look like Gary Trent Jr., but it was not Gary Trent Jr.
That's the only thing I've seen of the incident, so I thought it was.
That's crazy.
Oh wait, you only saw that in an NBA Circle Jerk post?
Yeah, it's like one comment.
I've seen that in so many other memes.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter for like 2 weeks straight.
Oh God, my
Twitter's
cheeks
full
hurt.
of right-wing commentators because I interact with their posts.
Oh, that hurt my cheeks. I was laughing too hard. But on the turnaround,
my bad, Gary Trent. Keep killing it in Milwaukee.
Finally, I'm gonna go reputation. Reputation. This is a guy that he's been moved. I think once he got moved once. From Minnesota. Not like born here, but he was on Minnesota and they got moved. And he pays the ultimate price, which is being like solid, but you're on a team that nobody pays attention to and nobody cares about. And that is the Utah Jazz. So go ahead for reputation. Go ahead and give me Walker Kessler.
That's fair. I feel like he kind of fell off a little bit this year, and that's why no one talks about him.
Yeah.
But it's also because it's Utah.
Yeah.
It's the Utah tax. It's the Utah tax.
Yeah, I like that pick. He's in his reputation era.
Truly.
The one name I'm generally surprised. The one name I'm generally surprised we did not pick for reputation was Kyle Kuzma.
That's too good of
a very negative reputation.
Yeah, that's way too. That's not mid. That's not a mid reputation. Well, that gives me an idea for a future game, though.
I kind of misunderstood the assignment with a couple of the.
Whatever.
But Kyle, go ahead, finish off for us.
I of all my picks, I think I am most proud of this one, and that it's actually still here. I'm going to take Derek White.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the silence speaks for itself, honestly.
Do you have the? I feel like eye test. He's not a. I think he's pretty good for a guard.
Yeah, I think I'd have to look at his field goal percentage again. Like his paint field goal percentage wasn't like the greatest. So it's like even though like when he gets into the paint, which isn't very often, like
guards of his size, I feel like he's able to make something work usually.
No.
I don't know.
But to finish it out,
but that's fair. He's not really a
paint scorer.
Component.
Yeah,
he's not a real slasher kind of guard. Yeah. Cameron, finish it out for us.
I've got passing left. I'm gonna go with a rookie here, second round pick, Jalen Wells. He definitely likes to score the ball more. He started a a while for Memphis when Marcus Smart was hurt before they traded Marcus Smart away.
Alright.
He's averaging like 2.7 assists per game, which about average. He's a point guard, but he's definitely more of a scorer than a facilitator. He can pass if he needs to, but he doesn't. So I'm gonna.
Yeah. Well, I think we've done it. Some of us have done it. Some of us misunderstood the assignment a little bit.
Some of us absolutely won this, and I need everybody to vote in the poll down below on Spotify for me.
As always, with these Build-A players, there will be a poll.
Average shooter, LaMelo Ball.
Yeah,
Paul doesn't understand how field goal percent works.
Season. Where did that go? This season in particular.
I does not understand how field goal percentage works, how that statistic is measured, and what the definition of shooting is.
Yeah, but go ahead. Our mid players, go ahead, take a vote on the poll. Who you think made the most mid player? And with that, speaking of mid, we'll head to the mid conference, the Eastern Conference. Let's go ahead and take a look at transition. Thank you. I really worked hard on that one. I rehearsed that one in the mirror. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Eastern Conference play-in before we dive into the first round series. 7-8 game for the East. We have the Atlanta Hawks heading into Orlando. Orlando currently favored by 5 points in this one. Kyle, you're shaking your head. What? Tell me how you feel on this game.
My notes on this are very brief, and it's holy fuck, the East is weak. How did Orlando get the 7th seed? What the hell? And then just like in quotes, I said Trae Young legacy game. So I don't know. I don't see Atlanta losing this because I feel like, granted, I've been watching a lot of Eastern Conference basketball recently, but I feel like Orlando hasn't really been in this conversation for like good. They've just been, again, they win games against bad teams because half of their games are against bad teams. So like it's just like a naturally inflated stat to get them to the 7th seed. I just don't feel like they're playing like good basketball in that stretch. Not that Atlanta is playing better basketball than them in that stretch, but I just feel like they're, of the two teams, that they play good basketball when they're on. So I feel like in just like a 1-game vacuum, Atlanta should win this in my eyes.
Cameron?
I'm going to have my friend Haley assist me with this pick.
Trae Young, this is my official invite to be my first NBA player on top tour. Let's go Hawks.
God.
Let's go Hawks.
I'm so bad that you're rooting for me. I hate that we're on the same page.
Shit. Oh, fuck. Jesus
I forgot about
Christ.
I just
Oh
thought
my
about
God.
Yeah, give me the Atlanta Hawks. Literally, these two teams just played on Sunday. Granted, the Magic were sitting Paolo and both Wagner brothers. The Hawks were sitting like 10 players, all of who are in the rotation. It was basically Zachary Ricochet and Who's versus most of the Orlando Magic. And guess what team won by like 15 points? It was the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah. Ricochet had a great game.
Ricochet has been hooping in March. I am super excited to see him next year.
Yeah. I mean, the Rookie of the Year race, it's him and Stephon Castle, isn't it?
M. Castle, yeah, Alex Sarr and Jalen
A
Wells
little bit,
did
yeah.
a little bit of nod. They're going to be a rookie first team for sure. Unfortunate that Jared McCain got hurt, my king.
God. He would have been
Pookie
far
Bear.
and away Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, give me the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young, go and talk to her.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to go with the Hawks here as well. Trae Young currently is day-to-day. And I believe I think out they have Clint Capella is out. And I think Larry Nance Jr. But if you're giving Larry Nance Jr. a bunch of minutes, you're already fucked.
True.
Yeah, I do get worried about some of their backup bigs, their big depth, because they have Onyeka Okongwu, and then their second string center is Dominic Barlow. Which maybe it's just because I don't follow Atlanta basketball, but
Who?
No, I agree. I agree with the who.
But I think
he's a rookie.
I think their guard play is just going to be superior. If the shot's falling for Trey, I see no reason that they can't or shouldn't win this game, especially because Orlando can't keep up with their 3-point shot.
I mean, they cannot keep up with the shooting, but I also don't really know who's going to stop Paolo.
Fair point. The issue is that in nowadays game, the 3-point shot is just worth
so much more important
on average.
Yeah,
that it's tough.
Orlando is historically bad at 3-point shooting this year.
Right. So Bisportuals, we're going to go ahead. We're going with Atlanta in the 7-8 game.
7th seed, yep.
9-10. This is Miami heading to Chicago. Chicago only favored by 1 point here in this 9-10 game. Cameron, go ahead. How are you feeling on this Eastern 9-10?
Call me a Venezuelan gang member because let's go Bulls. They have been on fire recently. I mean, they've kind of been a little hit or miss recently, but when they've been on, they have been very good, very fun to watch. Yeah. They have so many guards, and for some reason it works against some other teams. Vucevic is having he's having his best season as a Bull. Josh Giddey is having a breakout year. Kobe White is continuing his improvement from last year. Matas Buzelis has looked pretty good as a rookie. I like the momentum that the Bulls have. I just feel like since the Jimmy Butler trade, the Heat have just kind of
tapered.
Been there. Yeah, they've just kind of existed. Tyler Hero's having a good year. Bam isn't necessarily. Andrew Wiggins hasn't really done anything since he got traded. Yeah. I'm taking the Bulls here.
Yeah. It's the power of friendship versus Bam and Tyler.
Can I just say this real quick? I want to clarify a position here. This is unless they're playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, this is a extremely pro Kobe White podcast.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
Kobe is awesome.
I love Kobe White.
Shout out Kobe White.
Shout out. I'll talk about him, but Kyle, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, most of my analysis was just like, the Heat have nothing really going for them other than like Tyler Hero. Hami Jaquez, an undervalued role player.
Ware has been really good as a rookie.
True.
Mm-hmm. They have good rotational pieces, but that's just not enough to win at a high level. So I see Chicago taking this one. I feel like this is where they start to, if they hadn't turned it on already, they're going to turn it up here. I got Chicago here by more than 1 point.
More than one. They can't win by more than one.
Or less than one. Give me Chicago.
Okay, we all agree here.
Yeah, Josh Giddey is currently day-to-day. Lonzo is officially declared out for the game.
Mm-hmm.
But man,
you've got Kobe
White. Kobe White, man. Kobe White is forever ingrained in my memory because I was at that Bulls game, that the Wolves Bulls game, not this year, but last year in the United Center, where the Wolves blew a huge lead to Kobe White becoming Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a miracle in person, you become a true believer. I am a Kobe White believer. I believe that he is I think far and away he's the best player on the Bulls, in my opinion. He is when he is on, he is the most on.
Yeah, it's him, then Val, then Giddey.
I would agree.
Vucevic, not Val.
Yeah, Vucevic. Valanciunas is
Giddey.
Yeah. But I just think this Bulls team, when they play, they play.
Yes.
Kyle said it best. This is the power of friendship team.
They're always so happy for each other in the locker rooms.
They're a real camaraderie that I really buy because they've been in the shit. Unlike this OKC fucking everybody comes to the post game interview. I fucking hate that. It's such performative bullshit.
I don't think it's performative. It's just
I
it's
do.
just
It's
not as
performative.
fun.
But so that
It
moves
was
us.
fun when they sucked and they did TikToks together, though.
Fair point.
Yes.
Yeah, I
True.
think it's just team success. That's a
Yeah,
big
it's the
factor.
fact that they're winning. I hate
Mhm.
it.
Yeah,
We move to the seeding game. We have Chicago would be heading into Atlanta.
Orlando.
Or
Yeah, because Atlanta's the 7th,
No, we
so
all
it would be
picked-
against Orlando.
We all picked Atlanta to be the 7th,
Oh,
so
yeah,
Orlando is going to be in this
yes.
8 seed game.
Chicago heading into
Yep.
Orlando. Give me Chicago. Give me the power friendship.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And that's just because I don't super buy the Magic
Orlando.
just saying no to the 3-point shot.
Yeah,
The NBA is a game of runs. It's a game of runs. And runs are more explosive when you can put up threes. That's just my whole thing with Orlando. Cameron, though?
I think this is going to be a really close game.
Yes.
But if, like I said, who on Orlando is going to stop Paolo? Who the fuck on Chicago is going to stop Paolo?
Fair point.
Yeah, they're a very
Yeah.
small team, and the Magic's best players are all
Bigs.
bigger.
Pigs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think they're just gonna be more physical, beat the Bulls inside, and they do have the perimeter defense and Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner to slow down the 3-point shooting that the Bulls have been pretty good at recently.
So you're going with Orlando here?
I'm going with Orlando. I do think it's going to be close. I do really like Chicago right now.
All right. Kyle, you're the
So-
deciding vote.
No, Kyle said Chicago.
Oh, Kyle did?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I'm fine. Let's put Chicago in here.
And if it goes wrong, Cameron, you can say I told you so.
Yeah,
All right.
I've got the receipts now.
Yeah. But that sets the table for the real playoffs. 1-8 game, we would have the Chicago Bulls heading into the land. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Get the broom. Just
Yep,
get the broom.
agree.
Get the
agree.
Cavaliers,
Let's go,
old timey
Cavs.
Shears, LeBron clears, Cavs in 4.
All right, that was pretty easy.
Yeah. I don't.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna beat Boston to come out of the East, but I will for sure be rooting for them every step of the way. Let's fucking go, Cavs! I am on the Cavs train.
Mm-hmm. They're the 1 seed for a reason.
Their
Donovan
players
Mitchell-
are just so awesome. I love their players.
Donovan Mitchell's production is down this year, but it's so that everybody else's production can be up.
Evan Mobley eating Jared Allen, eating
Eating.
Darius Garland, eating fucking Steady Osman, eating.
Yeah.
They're just such a fun.
All in all.
I don't know how you can dislike them right now. Their roster is just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're hooping.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to watch this Cavs team in the playoffs.
Kyle, do you have any additional takes on this Cavs team?
Nope, just truly it does not matter who is in the 8 seed. Like out
Yeah.
of all the play-in teams, the Cavs are winning this in 4.
Sweet.
I agree.
Let's go ahead and move on to the 2-7 game. We have Atlanta going into Boston. Get the broom.
Get the broom.
Fucking
Celtics,
sweet.
racists at 4.
And
Hawks in 4.
I do hate the Celtics.
Yeah.
I fucking hate the Celtics. And part of that is just derived from the fact that I don't like Jason Tatum. And part of the fact that I don't like Jason Tatum is because he plays for the Celtics. It's a negative
Jaylen
feedback.
Brown though.
I do like Jaylen Brown though.
He's
That's true.
nasty.
You like Neemias Queta though.
I'm a big
What a pull.
Peyton Pritchard
pull.
head.
What do you mean? What a pull! He's been their starting center.
What a pull.
Since Tingus Pengus is out or was out.
Yeah.
As,
Who the fuck
usual.
is who the fuck is Pingus? All right. Anybody not saying a sweep for Boston here?
No, we're all
Nope.
in agreement. Both these series
Nobody-
are sweeps.
Yeah, nobody wants to give Atlanta a game.
Nope, I do not.
No, I don't either.
Nope.
All right, now we get into real series. This is Detroit at the Knicks. Now, game 1 currently, the Knicks are favored by 7. Kyle, I want to start with you. Where are you
Okay.
on this?
So my analysis of this series is, yay, go Cat, woo, Knicks in 5. But my
Knicks in
actual
5?
analysis, yeah, I said Knicks in 5. The Knicks just have a more complete roster than Detroit does. I just feel like, again, they've been here, they've done this, they know how to elevate at a high level. They're gelling well, really together, and like they have been throughout the season. My only concern for them is that they haven't beaten a top 3 team like at all in the East or the West this season. Just period. Like they cannot beat the upper echelon of teams. The Pistons are not the upper echelon of teams in the East. So I feel like they can lock it down in this series. I was gonna say also the Pistons core right now doesn't really have much playoff experience either. The only thing I just remembered it as I was taking notes was Malik Beasley getting postered by John Morant in 2022. And then
happen.
yes, and then Tobias Harris is still in the Pistons, right?
Tobias Harris has experience. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley made it to the playoffs.
Tobias
with
Harris
Yeah.
over me?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it, if that's your playoff experience, like, top end of your roster, then you don't have playoff experience. So I don't see the Knicks losing this series. Granted, it may go to like 6 or 7, just because like the Pistons are that kind of greedy team that we've been talking about, and they may poke the right buttons to make the Knicks lose a game or two. But I see the Knicks kind of running away with this one.
Okay.
Yeah, if we're talking playoff experience, I think the Knicks are really underrated in just how much they have. Kyle, you said that the Knicks are a more complete roster than the Pistons. I disagree. I think top to bottom, the Pistons are a more complete roster, but Tom Thibodeau doesn't play more than 6 players anyway. And the Knicks have a much better top end talent. They've got OG Anunoby, who has a ring. They've got Mikal Bridges, who has been to the finals. They've got Kat and Jalen Brunson, who have both been to the conference finals. A lot of their best players have had a lot of playoff experience. I do think this Pistons team is scrappy. I do think they will take a game at home in Detroit. But I'm going to agree Knicks in 5.
Yep. My one also additional to this, sorry, Ryan, is if the Knicks don't win this series, Tibbs needs to be fired within the hour of that loss. I'm not kidding.
If they don't win this series, yes. If they lose in the second round, it's different. But
yes, correct. Like if they lose the series to the Pistons, Tibbs needs to be fired within the hour.
Like before he can have his press conference.
Correct.
Yeah, don't let him. Okay.
Like they should intercept him on the way to the locker room.
Exactly.
So the Bisportuals pick is going to be the Knicks.
Don't continue this sentence the way I think you're going to continue the sentence.
Are you taking out the broom?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not taking out the broom.
No, yeah, I had them in 6, but
I think it's going to be in 6. Give me Detroit.
Fuck you.
Here's why. Here's why.
You said Detroit in 6?
Yeah. Now, in all honesty, Detroit, the only reason I have Detroit is because who have been the Knicks' 2 best players all year? Jalen Brunson and Kat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Karl Anthony Towns is very hit or miss in the playoffs. We saw it last year. Sometimes he puts up
hit or miss in the playoffs.
A healthy Jalen Brunson. If he did not tweak his ankle, what was that, like 2.5 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
But he's come back since then.
He has, but
and they've got a bit of time before the series starts.
Yeah, still, I think that injury that late with how Tibbs runs his teams is just the opening that the Pistons need. And I think they're going to have to rely, or they're going to try to rely a little bit too much on Kat in the playoffs. And he can either give you 28 or he can give you 8. I don't, as a whole on this team, like in reality, I probably should take the Knicks. And I won't be surprised if the Knicks win this series. I just think it would be such a Knicks thing to do.
Yeah.
To lose this to Detroit.
If you ask me who has the best starting 5 in the NBA, it's the Knicks easily.
Best starting.
They play so many minutes. that it can be a little detrimental.
Yeah, I don't know about.
No, I think they have the best starting five, and I don't think it's.
You'd take their starting five over a healthy Boston starting five
Yes.
over
Boston
Derek White,
doesn't
Drew
have a
Holiday,
center.
Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis doesn't count to you. What?
He can't really rim defend too well. I don't know. He plays more like a 4.
Would you take a
I'd take the
Knicks
Boston
starting 5 over the Cavs starting 5?
Yes.
Would you take him over fucking, and I hate to say it, OKC starting 5?
Are we putting Chet at the 4?
They're starting. Yes, Chet
Is
at the 4, Hartenstein at the 5.
Yeah. Cat's better than Hartenstein. I think Brunson is better than Caruso or whoever the point guard is. Or is Shea the point guard?
Shea.
I thought
Okay.
Shea's their point guard. Yeah.
Shea's their
I thought
point
he was
because
there too.
Lou
yeah, I'm
Dort
taking
is their
Shea.
2.
I'm taking Mikal Bridges over Lou Dort.
And then it's Jalen Williams at the 3.
Yeah, I'll
it OG?
take Jalen Williams against OG at the 4. Chet versus fucking.
Why am I blanking?
It's Chet
Why am I
versus or no, OG is the 4, Josh
Yeah.
Hart's the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of interchangeable. Josh Hart can play 4.
That one makes you think though.
Yeah, that.
All right.
I'll actually take Thunder by a slight edge there, but
Okay.
Knicks are top 3, 1,000,000%.
All right. So the Bisportuals pick is the New York Knicks in 6, I think.
5.
In 5.
I said
Kyle
5.
said 5.
Oh, okay.
I said 5.
I
Okay,
originally had
fair
6, but I brought it down.
Fair. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pistons pull this out. That brings us to the 4-5 game. We have the Milwaukee Bucks heading into Indiana to take on the Pacers. The Pacers currently in game 1 favored by 4.5 points here. So, Cameron, I want to head to you first. You taking Giannis, or are you taking the second version of the power of friendship in the East?
I'm taking the second version of the power of friendship in the East.
Okay.
I have the Pacers winning in 6. Primary reason, the Milwaukee Bucks do employ Kyle Kuzma. He is on their payroll.
Yeah. That is an incredibly valid
It always
take.
comes down to that. It always comes down to that.
This Pacers offense has been so good lately. They dropped 180 points against the Wizards a few weeks ago.
50 something? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was
a shit ton of points.
It was a lot.
Yeah. I don't
162.
Okay, yeah. I think everyone on the Bucks who has been trusted to be a key defender has taken a step back this year. Giannis, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis. And they don't have Drew Holiday or Chris Middleton anymore. I don't see them being able to stop this offense, but I also don't see the Pacers really being able to stop Giannis that well. I don't think Miles Turner or Pascal Siakam are the defender, are at a level where they can shut Giannis down. I think he's going to have a couple games this series where he goes off for 40, and I think the Bucks could potentially win those games. So I've got Pacers in 6.
Okay, Kyle?
The Pacers at all. I have the Bucks
I know
here.
that. Yep, I knew that.
The only reason is season series. The Bucks are 3-1 in the season series. Granted, I will say 2 of those games were before the trade deadline, and the Bucks fucking whooped them before the trade deadline. And then after the trade deadline was that one indie game where I don't think it was overtime, but I think it was like a fourth quarter buzzer beater from the Pacers where they won. But then that other game after the trade deadline, Milwaukee just whooped them again. So Giannis has proven that he can beat the Pacers. These teams have been chippy and just kind of like John at each other. They're starting to form a rivalry if they haven't already.
Years.
Yeah, like I said, like 2-3 years.
No, they definitely have.
So like there's tension there. There's a will to win in this series, especially from Giannis. Giannis always does well against the Pacers. So I just, it's hard to bet against a top 5 player in the world in Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And top 5 is being generous, or is being ungenerous.
Conservative.
It's stingy.
It's being conservative. Yeah. Yes. So I just have to trust Giannis carrying the rest of his team. I know I kind of said the flip for the other 4-5 matchup where it's hard to do that as the best player in the world, but there are still serviceable players on the Bucks. And this is going to hurt coming out of my mouth, but Dame is still serviceable.
Dame
He's
is
been
out. Deep vein thrombosis. Dame's not playing. Remember, because he had, like a month ago, he had deep vein thrombosis.
Yeah, I did forget about that. I thought
so
he was
they're
back
starting.
for
I
this.
believe you saw that and you called him Wash.
Their starting point guard
Yes,
is
I did.
a guy named Ryan Rollins.
Okay. Damn. I may be taking back
No,
my.
the name sounds familiar. Is he?
Does he go by a stage name like Two Hollis or something?
No, Tu Hollis's real name is Hollis.
It was a joke.
And his
I was
mom
being haha
teaches
funny.
music at USC.
Okay, whatever. Okay, I may be actually eating my words here.
Well, here.
This is tough.
I'll give you time to think because I'm gonna give my take here.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
This is going 7. This is going 7. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks in 7. Here's why. Cameron, your first and foremost reason, which is a valid reason, was one of these teams employs Kyle Kuzma.
Yes, he is on the Milwaukee Bucks payroll, as is Darvin Ham.
I would like to say this. One of these teams,
James Wiseman.
They may employ Kyle Kuzma, but they do also employ Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh yeah.
Top 3 player in the world. I'd say it's
top 3.
Over the past 5 years, he's been the second best player in the world. This season, he's third, but over the past 5 years, second best player in the world.
Yes.
I think in a first round series, if this matchup was in the second or in the conference finals, I'd be much more wary with this argument. But in a first round series, I could absolutely see the team pulls a couple games. Maybe it's like 2-1, 2-2. And then down the stretch, Giannis just says, all right, everybody, hop on. I'm carrying you to the second round where they get
and then Kyle
blown
Kuzma
out.
is too fat and Giannis breaks his back and the Pacers win in 6.
Nah, this is I have a tough time betting against a top 3 player in the world. It's tough. And that's why I was so scared to pick another reason I was so scared to pick the fucking Clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's because
well, you also had the Clippers in 6.
Yeah, I did. I think that
there's
like
a change.
No, I'm still going to go with that only because Denver has
I've kind of
as much as I trust Nikola Jokic, I absolutely do not trust Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. I trust Aaron Gordon kinda. But I don't trust the rest of that team. When it comes to the Bucks, I kind of trust Brook Lopez. I can get behind Bobby Portis, and I can get behind Taurean Prince even. We don't talk about Kyle Kuzma, but
I think
I can trust more of the average players on the Bucks.
Mm-hmm. I'm going back to my take on the Bucks. I am going to stick with the Bucks here. I'm going to say Bucks in 6, but the way that I'm kind of processing this is like the way that Jokic dominates the game is that he obviously can dominate offensively, but a lot of his dominance comes with his uniqueness on the court to facilitate, to make the game not about him, to kind of like draw attention in that way and feed it to a guy that is going to like be able to take advantage of that. The way that Giannis dominates the game, he literally just says, fuck you, put my nuts in your mouth, and dunks on your head. Like even if you put 2 guys on him, he's still scoring. He's still like getting points for you physically, whether you like it or not. Granted, yeah, there's a way for Jokic to dominate in that way and score, but also he relies on like being able to dish the ball away. And right now, the team that he's dishing it to isn't actually following up on that part of finishing the job. Whereas like with the Bucks, Giannis doesn't need to do that all the time. He just, again, the joke is the run and dunk man. But if he does that, he's putting up 35 points a night. Like he's just going to kill you on offense in a different way than
Denver
Jokic
Nuggets.
does.
This Denver Nuggets team is the NBA equivalent of the 23-24 Purdue Boilermakers.
Mm-hmm.
It is all about that team was Zach Edey, and because you had to put so much on him, he could dish. It's not so much that Zach Edey was, I'm going to get my 35 and everybody else is going to get 10 to 15. It was if you could let Zach Edey get his 35, but everybody else was scoring 6 points. That was how you stopped that Purdue team. I think Denver is very similar. Whereas Giannis is like Zion at Duke. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Nuggets have never won a game where Jokic puts up more than 50 points, and I can see that argument for a reason why. Like, if you're going to have a player kill us, make it only that player and everyone else does nothing.
Because as much as he doesn't look like it, he is human. He gets tired.
Yeah.
He can't keep it up for 48 minutes. 40 minutes, sure.
Shit. I would top 5 offensive peak in NBA history.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Top 2 offensive peak for a big man, and it's not 2.
Fucking insane.
It's like
no, number 3.
You have Wilt above him, but
yeah, Wilt and
Shaq. Yeah, I would say it's between.
I would take Jokic over Shaq.
I would say it's between Jokic and Shaq.
Yeah.
To me,
yeah.
But you know my opinions on Wilt, so.
Yep.
All right. Well, I believe that rounds out our Eastern Conference playoff predictions for round 1. We'll go ahead. We'll revisit these once round 1 is complete. Next week, like Cameron said, we're going to be talking NBA awards because,
oh boy,
they're coming up, and I believe we've got some opinions, as if we don't always have opinions.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be an episode of Bisportuals if we didn't, even this NBA playoff extravaganza, if we didn't close out with the one, the only, it's Cameron's album of the week. Cameron, what do you have for us this week?
I got my favorite album of 2025 so far. It's a collab between 2 Canadian rappers that you know and love. I've got Some Sexy Songs by Drake and Party Next Door.
Hold the fuck on.
Actually, I'm lying again. I'm sorry. I've got one of my favorite albums from 2024, for real. It's definitely in my top 6. Heavy Metal by Cameron Winter. So Cameron Winter is a 21 or 22-year-old singer-songwriter, artist, musician from New York City, home of Ryan Neanderthal and the cheating New York Liberty. And
fuck the Liberty.
New York Liberty.
Fuck the Liberty.
Fuck
Most fraudulent championship in any sport.
Damn right.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's from there. In 2019, when he was in high school, he started a band with some of his friends called Geese. And Geese has gotten a lot of attention with their more eclectic jam band, math rock type music, where it just seems like they're having a really good time and they're doing some really cool technical stuff. This is Cameron Winter's first solo album. He does have a solo EP before this, but this was released in December of 2024. I found it through the Fantano subreddit, and it has only gotten more and more popular as it has aged these past few months. Yeah, this is, although the title of the album is heavy metal, this is a singer-songwriter folk album. Cameron Winter has one of the most unique voices I've ever heard. It can be absolutely beautiful at times, but he uses it in a variety of ways where it can sound incredibly eerie or very dissonant. And it just makes for some really cool things that you never see in music like he makes, like slow piano ballads where he's like, it's just so cool how he uses his voice. It's definitely, I understand if you guys didn't like it because it is kind of hard to get used to at first, but just, I don't know, after listening to this album like 20 times, I love it. some songs I wanted to shout out. The opening track, Rolling Stones. It just the way the instrumental starts at the beginning with like the do 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 do, just like very intimately finger picked with a guitar. You can tell it's nice and close to the mic. You can really hear it, and it's just so clean. The next song, Nausicaa, is super catchy. Tell me how it feels. Yeah, he just does some really cool things, both melodically and instrumentally on that track. Love Takes Miles, the next track, also a very catchy song. I'm gonna skip ahead a bit to the end of the album. Definitely check out everything in the middle. A couple standouts in the middle. Cancer of the Skull, I really like. Try As You May, I really like. But the real climax of the album is the song $0, where it opens with him just singing some haunting vocals like before like just one of the most beautiful piano lines comes in that you've ever heard, and it just creates such an eerie, haunting sound for such a depressing song where it's about depression and how religion has helped him through it. The big like climactic moment, he's like, God is real, God is definitely real, I'm not joking this time, I'm real, he's real. It works, trust me. But
that's actually that is verbatim. That's verbatim.
Last track, probably my favorite, the one I've revisited the most, Can't Keep Anything. I just think it has such a strong hook. Baby, where I'm going, I can't keep anything. Yeah. I just really think this album is something special. He's got really unique talent, and this is his debut solo album. I'm super excited to see where he goes in the future. And yeah, just love this album. Love everything about it. What do you guys think?
I agreed with the. You said it can be a little hard to get into. It's the word I would use to describe. I felt was eclectic. Not so much in that like sometimes music I listen. Sometimes some of the music that comes across my Spotify can just be like a lot, and it can be overwhelming. I didn't think this wasn't like there wasn't a ton of times where I was like, oh fuck, what the fuck is happening, kind of
There's
thing.
not a lot going on, but
yeah,
he
it's
definitely, yeah.
It was just the pairing of the things that he did have going on. Sometimes I was like, oh,
No,
okay.
I really like that because I would describe his band Geese's music as eclectic in like a traditional sense. It's noisy, it's messy, but there's like something fun going on about it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I definitely see that in a more non-traditional way for this album as well.
Yeah, like you were talking about the piano lines with him coming out like very brash with the vocals, and it was just I was like, it's a pair. It's like I don't have an analogy. It's like what it is. It's what it is. Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I can try and like rescue Ryan here a little bit and get him out of this.
No, fuck you. I'm
okay.
I don't need rescuing. I'm not a damsel in distress.
He's not me.
Okay.
Do you need rescuing, Camu?
Yeah, from being canceled.
Dude, you're on this podcast. You're done. Yeah. We're all done.
Well, I know Kyle's canceled because he threatened to kill someone and then also threatened to shit their pants.
True.
Someone who will remain unnamed.
Unnamed, but their name rhymes with Schmammer and Schmertensen.
You could say that, yeah.
Yeah,
good.
All right. Yeah, it wasn't easy to just like start the album. I definitely agree there. Like that first song, not that I had like an assumption going into the album of what it was going to be, because I truly had no idea what to plan for with this in terms of okay, I'm going to listen to this. Like you almost need to be in that mindset. I had nothing going. So when you first hear his vocals on that first track, it it's a little jolt. Again, you're not expecting anything, but you weren't expecting that. So it took a minute, but again, once you get into it, it definitely warms up a little bit more. I especially liked Nausicaa. That was a really great listen. And then also Cameron mentioned Cancer of the Skull. Those are just very like it's almost like it settles down. You warm up to it, you become a little more inclined to it, and that's where his talent can really show in the production.
The shock value kind of wears off
away.
and you just become accustomed to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you said about like vibe for this album, but I have to take long drives every morning pretty early for work, and I think it fits really nicely on those, especially like if you start your drive and it's dark and then it's bright when you're done. I don't know, just really works in that vibe for me, that headspace of still only
this seems
80%
like
awake.
Yeah, this seems like a really good album for just like a foggy day. Like a foggy, just kind of like grayish, almost like a Minnesota like spring morning. Like I think this could work well. So yeah, like I definitely didn't have anything.
Album.
Yeah, I didn't have anything wrong with it. Again, it's a very unique album, and it's something that I really do need to like sit down and listen to like top to bottom. Because unfortunately for my viewers at home, I did not listen to every single song on here quite yet. So I need to, hunker down and wrap this up. So, yeah.
My viewers at home, I have listened to every single song on here dozens of times.
Good for you.
I have no viewers at home.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all split between me and Cam.
They're all on the road.
Oh, okay.
That brings us to the end of the NBA extravaganza. Thank you all so much for taking the time to listen, taking time out of your busy day. Happy Friday if you are listening to this on release. If you're listening on the weekend, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you're listening to it during the week, I hope you have a wonderful week. Nice try, Cameron. You can't say
on recording day. Happy Monday.
Oh, that was
you literally can't.
It's
I
impossible.
still have to edit this episode.
No,
unless you're on the recording of our next episode.
No, but if they're listening to this on the day that we're recording it, happy Monday. I'm saying that to you guys.
Oh. Well,
but
for me, it's Tuesday.
But I didn't listen to it today. I just recorded it today. So, and I only heard...
You're listening to 2/3 of it.
It's Tuesday for me.
And you listen to yourself talk. Your clock is broken.
It's Tuesday. I'm an hour ahead of you all.
Your clock is an hour broken.
Fuck you.
You're just wrong.
And with that, thank you all so much. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 2:30, baby, won't you meet me by the beam? Shout out Drake, shout out Party Next Door.